presentation outlines the master workflows necessary to run an efficient library program while strictly adhering to Texas administrative mandates, specifically Texas Administrative Code Title 19, Section 228, as well as Section 239.55b. Over the next 15 minutes, we will explore how automated systems not only streamline our daily tasks, but also safeguard legal compliance, advance equity, and provide data-driven pathways for robust collection development. Let's start with a high-level overview. What do we mean when we talk about a fully automated library? At its core, an integrated library system, or ILS, such as Follett Destiny, consolidates our core day-to-day functions into a centralized digital infrastructure. These functions include our circulation, check-in and check-out workflows, hold and reserves management, the generation of overdue notices, fine tracking, and macro-level circulation reporting. Why is automation so critical? First and foremost, it drives operational efficiency. It removes human error from record keeping, ensuring that our data remains accurate and legally defensible. Second, it vastly enhances the user experience for both our students and our staff. Instead of navigating archaic manual catalogs, users have immediate transparency into item availability, which fosters autonomy and boosts engagement with our library space. This brings us to our regulatory framework. These are the compliance standards. And in the state of Texas, operating an automated system is not merely a best practice, it is directly tied to legal compliance as certified school librarians under Texas Education Code. And with the legalities and just all of the things going on in the state of Texas nowadays, this is very important that we stick by it and we make sure that all of our things are up to compliance standards. Under 19 TAC Section 228, and Section 239.55b, school libraries are mandated to document resource usage, track patron engagement accurately, and maintain precise circulation and overdue records. Library automation functions as our primary mechanism for satisfying these legal requirements. By automatically tracking resource usage and generating standardized logs, we are able to maintain total accountability. That's what's important right here, total accountability across all operations. Furthermore, these compliance standards align perfectly with broader Texas educational goals. They ensure that public resources are managed responsibly and distributed in a way that guarantees equitable access to learning materials for every student, regardless of their background or campus. Key requirements on this include circulation management, patron tracking, overdue reporting, and collection usage documentation. All of these are mandated under Texas Education Code for certified librarians. I know a lot of days we kind of delegate this to pairs and things like that, but it's so super important that we stay within our compliance standards. Next, let's walk through the tactical master workflows that keep the library running smoothly, starting with our check-in and check-out workflows, the circulation checkout. To guarantee precision and stay fully compliant, we enforce a strict step-by-step verification protocol at the circulation desk. Step 1 is always account verification. Before a single item passes across the desk, you must scan the patron's barcode or pull up their secure account. This step prevents unauthorized loans and allows the system to instantly check for blockades like active holds, existing fines, or if you've reached your borrowing limit. I know at my particular school, we're a very small campus, so we're a one in, one out. The last campus I was at was a lot bigger, so our students were allowed to check 2 out at a time. So it's really important that you maintain whatever your school's existing rules are for this. Step 2 is scanning the book itself. I want to emphasize a vital technical point here. You must always scan the specific library barcode affixed to the book and never the manufacturer's printed ISBN barcode. Scanning the barcode merely identifies the title. It does not track the unique physical copy within Follett Destiny. Step 3 requires resolving status alerts. If an item is flagged by the system as lost, restricted, or reserved for another patron, the system will halt the transaction. These alerts must be addressed and resolved immediately before completing the checkout to preserve inventory integrity. So let's recap that. Step-by-step checkout ensures accuracy and compliance. Account verification prevents unauthorized loans. And you must always use the library barcode, not the ISBN, because you want to make sure that you have precise tracking within Follett Destiny. Check-in and workflows. Flipping to the reverse side of circulation, let's examine the check-in workflow. The key to successful inventory and recovery is sequential scanning. When materials are returned, the workstation must be strictly check-in mode only. You can't be doing both at the same time, and the items should be scanned one by one. As items pass through the scanner, the ILS processes status updates instantaneously. The item's metadata shifts from checked out to available in real time, entirely eliminating manual data entry or the risk of lagging records. There's also a librarian I follow that does Facebook and YouTube videos, and she has kind of like a little video that shows how instantaneous it happens with the check-in and the checkout, and she kind of maps out like the different sounds and things like that. And it's worth checking out because she's got some really neat tips for check-in workflows. Crucially, this workflow acts as a catcher's mitt for holds. If a returned book has been requested by another student, the system will instantly pop up and a hold alert and halt. This alerts staff to pull the item from the main sorting stack immediately, place it in the physical hold shelf, and let the system route it to the next patron in line. This also, just helps to ensure that our students are getting what they're requesting. Running overdue notices. To remain compliant with accountability mandates, we must actively manage unreturned assets by running overdue notices. Our automation system gives us a two-pronged strategy for this. The first approach is generating individual overdue reports. Librarians can easily navigate to the circulation report section of the ILS dashboard. From there, the data can be filtered dynamically, whether you're looking for a specific student name, targeting a particular grade level, or isolating items that are severely delinquent. Once generated, the system provides flexible output options. Notices can be printed out physically for face-to-face handoffs, or they can be batched out as automated emails. Choosing the right distribution method ensures efficient notification, minimizes paper waste, and creates a clear, time-stamped record for every recovery effort. I know personally, with our librarian at the school that I'm at right now, every couple of weeks, she'll email teachers specifically. I'm the only ELAR teacher for my grade level. Again, our school is very small. So I get the notices for 5th grade, and that just makes sure that I can check in with them before we pass out a lot of paper copies. And I can usually get a lot of books returned that way, if they're overdue, if they're lost. And I can usually navigate before we end up having to send out paper notices or mailing notices home. So a good system will help navigate that. Overdue notices, part 2. The second prong of our overdue strategy is utilizing class and homeroom-based overdue reports. This is kind of where I was going with that. By filtering overdue reports by teacher or homeroom classroom, we streamline our distribution model. Again, it's a little bit different when I'm the only 5th grade ELAR teacher, but if, let's say, you were in a bigger school that had 10 different ELAR teachers, you would use that ILS to filter through specific homerooms, and that way when you filter overdue reports by teacher or classroom, you can deliver printed handouts through teachers or automated emails directly to students or patrons. Schedule reports to run automatically on a weekly basis to ensure consistent follow-up and reduce manual workload. This helps quite a bit depending on whether your school is large. Just being able to streamline this and filter what you're looking for helps so much. Let's look at managing high demands, placing holds, and book reserves. When a book is highly popular and constantly checked out, students need a fair, transparent way to wait in line. The ILS manages this seamlessly via a digital patron queue. Librarians or students can search the digital catalog and place a hold on any checked out title. The system then organizes the waitlist using strict first in, first out, or FIFO logic. This completely eliminates favoritism, human error, or ensuring absolute equity of access. I love this because too many times you have kids like, oh, it's not back yet, or when do I get it? But if you have this, I love how it streamlines. There's no favoritism, there's equity involved in all parts of it. And as we discussed during the check-in workflow, the moment that high-demand book is scanned back into the library, the system will catch it. It locks the book status, and then it blocks it from going back to the shelves. You'll have to put it into the hold area waiting for that patron. This automatically triggers a pickup notification, completing a closed-loop workflow that requires minimal friction. And that notice will go out to that student, notifying them that their book is ready for pickup. Then when they're able to come into the library, they're able to get that book that they put on hold. Managing fines. Well, this is important because financial accountability is another key element of our library management. But it must be handled with deep pedagogical care. In our system, fines can be added directly to a patron's digital record for lost or severely damaged materials. However, modern librarianship champions a learner-centered approach over purely punitive measures. We're not just trying to fine people all the time. Especially when you think of some of your kids that come from a lower socioeconomic background, there's lots of ways that we can go about managing fines. We must actively utilize this function to support students who are facing genuine financial hardships. Our ultimate goal as educators is to keep learners connected to library resources, not to build financial barriers that lock them out. By balancing fine entries with empathetic waiving, we maintain accountability for school assets while prioritizing equity, dignity, and student access. So again, we're going to add fines for damaged and lost materials directly, but sometimes we can be able to waive or delete fines to support equity and resolve issues. The most important part is that we have a learner-centered approach that prioritizes student access over punitive measures. Up until now, we focused on the micro-level daily workflows. Let's shift our focus to the macro-level management by looking at circulation reports and running circulation reports. So the key purpose here is to track checkouts over time, monthly and yearly, to identify trends and measure library usage, gain insights into popular genres, high-demand titles, and the most active grade levels. We are able to use this data to inform collection development and demonstrate the library's impact on student learning. Circulation Reports Part 2. Circulation reporting services as our primary evidence when aligning our libraries with state expectations. Here's another compliance point. This gives us concrete proof of that compliance by thoroughly documenting that our collections are actively used, open, and accessible. By examining circulation data broken down by genre and grade level, we can execute strategic collection development, and this is going to allow us to spot and address equity gaps. For example, if a specific student subpopulation, subpop for short, shows historically low checkout numbers, we can analyze our collection, replace outdated materials using our weeding system, and acquire diverse resources tailored to re-engage those specific learners. And it is so super important. That's something that was really hard for me to grasp because I'm a book lover, but learning last semester about the weeding process, it really just helps your circulation, and especially if you're trying to make sure that we're engaging all of our patrons. Next, we're going to talk about entering catalog records. None of these automated workflows are possible without actual bibliographic data, which brings us to cataloging. There are two main ways that we input records into our system: copy cataloging and original cataloging. Wherever possible, we rely on copy cataloging. This process uses the ISBN lookup to import pre-existing standardized MARC records directly into our ILS. This is going to streamline workflow and save countless hours of manual entry. However, and sometimes this happens when you're going to get those unique materials, specialized media or unindexed things, you're going to perform original cataloging. This requires us to manually enter metadata, including title, author, subject headings, and call numbers. When creating original entries, we must strictly follow professional cataloging standards. Accurate, standardized cataloging is essential, and if our metadata is sloppy, items